Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome, finally, to the full version of Tactical Breach Wizards, the new thing from Suspicious Developments, the third game in Tom Francis's Defenestration trilogy. Excellent stuff all the way around, by the way. I'm super excited to finally have this in our hands. So without further ado, well, I guess a little bit of further ado. You may have seen a bit of this on the channel already. We played the demo of this, which is just the beginning of the game, in the most recent Steam Next Fest. And my understanding is that you can pick up your game right from the end of your demo playtime, but at this point I don't remember what was happening, so I am going to choose to start a new game. And if you still remember the demo stuff, or you just want to see new things from beyond that, I guess skip to episode 2. We'll be there. We'll see you. But for right now, a refresher. Start new game. Let's do the thing. We're gonna put it on, I don't know, default, I guess, for a little while. We might dial it up later. We'll see. WizTac, this is Mage Actual. We're in position. Suppression Hex is online. Trauma control charms up. Breach glyphs are hot. So you're probably getting the idea here. I mean, the name, I think, is pretty good at communicating the vibe, but this also does a fine job. All right, Zan, what's Foresight telling you? I'm seeing 3 Sprig Acolytes, Softwood Silence Mac 10s. You want me to leave you one? You know what? If you're losing your touch, sure, I'll pick up the slack. Hey, look at that. When you click a button, it just says exactly the words that are on the button. This is a personal pet peeve, but it drives me crazy when it doesn't work that way in video games, and it seems like it's getting so common lately. Anyway, sorry. All right, let's do this. So yeah, she's awfully powerful, huh? There, I left you an easy one, Zan. Wow, patronizing. So we have... This is a little bit like probably every tactics game you've ever played, right? You get to move, and then you get to attack. We're just going to skip straight to the attack because this buffoon is lined up right here. And there you go. Out the windows, as good as dealt with. All right, let's make our way over to this laptop. And then, yep, nope, thank you, I got this. We'll use the laptop to gain a little bit of mana, although I don't think we really have a use for it at the moment. And to the next room we go. Now what are we doing here, Liv? They've got us raiding a Druid Mafia smuggling ship. How is this a military op? You know I don't ask those kinds of questions, Zan. And you know I sleep better than you. Okay, you don't care who we're extracting? Young adult male. What do you want? His dating profile? You can ask him if he likes long walks on the beach after we stop the shrub mob flaying him with a barrel cactus, which would probably be a pretty grim way for that to happen. You know what? I guess we're not finding out in the corridor. We can just move on. Right, so what's behind door number 2? I see 4 hostiles, more sprigs, and an elder shrub lord. You good for 3? Well, I'm good for 4, but I'll let you feel useful. Isn't that kind of her? Hey, that was only 2. Well, I'm letting you blossom. Also, she has cover. Alright, so move up to here. Obviously, we have pretty decent cover as well, so let's just go ahead and handle that situation. Take cover and turn. I can't click rewind. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to rewind after clicking. So he doesn't even fire because we have such excellent cover. Use the laptop to open the security door is already done because I got a little ahead of myself. I mean, at this point, this will do 1 damage and it'll knock him back into the wall. And if they hit a wall, remaining knockback is taken as damage. So I think we're all good. Actually, let's just... Okay. Good enough. Nice and easy. Alright, what's next? 2 sprigs and a great oak in a ghillie suit. The great oak is wearing a ghillie suit? It is, yeah. Well, isn't it already a tree? Look, I just tell you what I see. Also, here on a tanker on the ocean feels like a place where a ghillie suit's not even really camouflaged in the first place. Well, let's get in there and kill it. Breach. Yeah, wow, she is mighty effective. All right, use laptop. Open up the security door, and then you know how we do it at this point. So right now we're in the action phase. This opening scenario kind of fast forwards you through the turn structure. But during the action phase, we can run around, we can issue orders, we can freely rewind. Then during the foresee phase, our enemies will attack. If none of them have a valid attack, like when we were crouched behind the cover earlier, then we just skip this whole phase. We can still rewind during the foresee phase. So if the enemies go off and I'm like, oh no, that was a huge error on my part, we still have the ability to wind it back. And then once we hit end of turn, everything actually like locks in. Enemies move and make new plans, and we start the whole cycle again. All right, end turn to commit everything there, because that was a pretty good outcome. Attack this shrub lord. That is a pretty tough dude, I'll say that. Oh, I can't take him. Can you dodge this? You're the one with Foresight, you tell me. So, let's click the foresee button. It costs us an action to just play the thing forward and find out what would happen. No, that turns out it's going to be real bad. You can always rewind all the way back to the start of your turn. Try it now. This is the magic of the Foresight power. Alright, move close enough to the shrub lord that he targets you instead. Alright, I'll take the hit. But you owe me a mending vial after this. I have the wherewithal not to be standing in front of the window. And if we were to cast Foresee, hey, look at that. All that happens is I get shot in the face a little bit. Seems fine to me. All right, and we are all clear. I feel like we didn't really need a third turn there, but that's fine. All right, Intel said this is where they're holding the asset. You see him? Yeah, they've got him bound and bagged. Don't you feel something weird coming from him? No, but then I can't see the future. I can only move infinitely fast. Maybe I'll feel it for all of the 0 seconds I'm clearing the room and extracting him unharmed. Look, don't rush this one, Liv. There's a wild card in that room. I'm a chronomancer, Zan. Well, no, I'm just saying, if something goes south, you know your orders. The asset is the priority. If you have to blink him out of here yourself, you do it. This is not this is not the time to, first of all, shake her confidence, or secondly, admit that my confidence can be shaken. We'll just say got it. You gonna breach this year? Alright, a pretty good start. Uh-oh. What the hell? Only have time to deal with one threat. Try saving Liv to see if they shoot the hostage. Or we try saving the hostage to see if Liv can save herself. I mean, I don't feel like she can, right? Zan can see about 1 second into the future, which is all we would need here. Obviously, just defenestrating that dude seems like a pretty strong plan. But that sure does not get us a hostage. No! I can't see shit. Tell me you saved the asset. No, let's maybe just wind that one back a little bit. How far into the room can I get? I mean, I could get right up on him. Maybe distract him? Nope. I do not grab his attention. Okay, well, if I save him, what happens? Shit. I can't save them both. I think this is the only call. Yeah, I mean, these were our orders, right? Also, Liv is very powerful. I'm sure she could save herself. Okay, this is less good, though. Move next to the hostage to and use blink out to extract. Let's just leave. Vesker to Wiztac, requesting immediate blink out. I have the asset, but something got Kennedy. And there we go. Problem solved. Except if you live, in which case problem current. Problem currently occurring. And that's your tutorial level. That is the basic idea here in Tactical Breach Wizards. Alright, so now the current day. Alright, so let me get this straight. The notorious Druid Mafia enforcer gets shot by a doctor. And the first person on the scene just happens to be the meddling witch that every cop loves to hate. Jen Kellen, P.I. Well, being near to locations is my passion. What is it going to take to stop you inserting yourself into every missing persons case we investigate? Well, I mean, you could try finding the people. Well, I'm sorry if solid police work sometimes takes a little longer than your witch's tricks, but we have procedures for a reason. Well, people don't hire me when you're slow. They hire me when you've given up. And from what I hear, people don't hire you much at all these days. Okay, that's a little personal, sir. Look, PI work always has dry spells. This is normal, probably, I'm sure. All right, so you hear a shot, you burst in with these breaching glyphs, and you find Wexler already dead. Describe the shooter. White-haired woman, good-looking, smartly dressed, except for the surgical gloves. And a gun. No, she'd put the gun down. So you went for it, even with all your spells and trinkets. Well, it was more about her not getting the gun. And what happened? Oh, she got there first. I'm dead now. Kellen? I got to it first, obviously. She seemed to reevaluate her situation at that point. And she ran. And then you guys showed up with the fucking Traffic Warlock. And what's your problem with Sergeant Clark? He made me kneel even though I'd already dropped the gun. He picked it up without gloves. He tracked mud all over the scene. And he put a 2-week stasis curse on my car. It's going to cost me more than that disenchanted... it's going to cost me more to get that disenchanted than I got paid for this whole job. Well, lucky for you, we're backed up, and it's not worth the time to prosecute you for any of this. Prosecute me? But next time you call us, stay put, stay out, and leave your wand at home. Can you unhex my car, please? I'm not insured for temporal curses. You'll have to take that up with Craft and Arcana Control. Fine. You're welcome, by the way. Unbelievable. Hey, did you know your station's on fire? What? Do you see the size of the birds outside the window? You get some big-ass pigeons in this city. You're too late to stop me. I don't even know who you are. Oh. You're not Zan Vesker, Navy Seer? No, my name's Jen. Is Zan here? I don't think so. I haven't seen him in years. Ah. Well, prepare to burn. Oh, no thanks. This feels like something we could probably, you could probably deal with. So, defenestrate this pyromancer. We have a gun here with the static blast attack that does no damage but 2 knockback. It's a thing we're going to be getting a lot of use out of, as you might imagine. Bye-bye. Go burn something down out there. And then I guess we're good. Turns out mission cleared. Pretty efficient. Hey, look who it is. Zan, I was just talking about you. Jen, what are you doing here? Solving a murder. How about you? I'm being arrested for, remind me? Well, it's a list at this point. Yeah, they think I'm part of the team raiding the station. I served with Zan, guys. I'll vouch for him. Nobody cares. You remember what it means if I give the signal, right? 1 second on the clock. I remember. That's enough. On your knees. This is the signal. We just got to figure out how between the two of them we're going to actually save Zan. So we have 1 mana on each of our characters, and we have this chain bolt. Chain through multiple targets, knocking each in a different direction. I mean, this seems pretty well set up for this situation, right? You go out there, and you go out there, and yeah. And then Zan handles that one. Ooh, thanks. Sorry it came to that. Well, one of those guys kind of had it coming. And the others? I didn't know them, but they'll be fine. I cast slow fall wards on the windows. Also, you know, they are cops, so. Let's pop open the security door and keep moving. Oh, I wasn't fast enough in real time. I do kind of wish that they weren't measuring real time. Sort of not what a game like this is about, I think. So, how have you been? Terrible, thanks. How about you? What have you been up to? The team casting its way through this station right now is led by my former CO, Liv Kennedy. She might be the most dangerous person on the planet. I think she's trying to start a war, and it might be my fault. So, stopping that. You know, I have some follow-ups, but I guess we should hustle. These guys didn't like me much before I defenestrated 2 of their colleagues, so we should probably get out of this building in the next 4 minutes if we don't want to stay here for, like, 25 to life. So what are we going to see when we open this? 1 cop, body armor, nightstick, an enforcer. They're tough. I suggest we try and put them through a window. You can't throw all of life's problems through windows, Jen. Okay, I do want to try throwing this problem through this window, though. Yeah, okay, it might actually be the right call here. I'll have to come at him from the side to set you up. Take him when you have the shot. Ready? Breach. Usually his job to say that. Okay, so we have to distract this guy because he is going to block any attack that comes from his front. How do I get you to actually come over here? Reposition, use the redeploy ability. Oh, there's a button I have to press. Yep, that'll be the reason. Okay. So, getting him out that window doesn't feel like it's going to be totally trivial. I'll breach here. Zan is closer. We'll move and strike in the foresee phase if somebody's in range. Okay. So yeah, the angle that he's at is not totally ideal for this attack. If I hit him from here, I wonder if it would slide him diagonally and out. Let's take a quick look at this. Nope, it's just gonna bounce him against the wall. Okay. Well, we don't necessarily have to get him out the window this turn, right? I guess what we should probably do, actually, is just start with Zan, and then, yeah, all of a sudden it's real easy if we just move him over first. You know, teamwork. Maybe that should have been my first thought. All right, so what does your former CO have against the Rushwater PD? I don't know. Okay, what's her overall objective? I don't know. Who's she working for? Reactor. Great. What's their objective? Yeah, I don't know. Who is the fire guy that I ran into earlier? He asked after you, by the way. Oh, really? That's nice. I don't know who that is, though. Right, maybe we'll stick to Liv. How long have you been on this investigation? 3 months. Zan. I'm a clairvoyant with an assault staff. I've never had to solve mysteries before. So you need someone with investigative skills. Someone whose career is maybe in a temporary dry spell, despite her obvious talent. Hey, I'm hiring if you're interested. Great, what does it pay? Nothing, I'm broke. That's actually very competitive with what I'm earning right now. I'll take a look at your files. Files, right. Zan. Well, I'll make some. Never mind. What's up next? Another enforcer, and bad news. No windows. Well, that rules out every strategy I know. She didn't bring a weapon that's capable of dealing damage, so... Alright, see? It's not a comprehensive life plan. Look, don't worry, I've got this. I can set up a shot that'll knock him flat if he comes my way. Okay, why don't you just use that all the time? Well, it's a time thing. You gotta set it up in empty space and hope they walk into it. Sure, I'll just assume that makes sense on some level. Breach? Breach. Okay. So we just gotta set ourselves a little trap. Aim in a direction with no enemy ahead to prepare a shot in the future. You'll fire at the first enemy to cross the line. You can't aim where an enemy already is because that's not what the word predictive means. So yeah, we're just gonna aim this approximately this way. And Jen is going to have to bait him. Which we can definitely do. This'll get his attention. Yeah, seems like a pretty decent outcome to me. Nope, heads up, reinforcements. Shit, we should put a ward on that door. Okay, seal all the reinforcement doors. That does seem like an important thing to do. Obviously, we are also currently experiencing some level of danger here. So if I do just have her run over here. There you go. Just get that closed. And now we want to make sure... I mean, I can do it from here, right? Does it just need to be in this direction? Yeah. Alright, sealing a door is a free action. You don't need to seal doors that have no enemies left. Interesting information for the future. What's the plan this time? I don't know. Improvise. Inspiring. This is a lot of dudes. You can see this guy is in Overwatch mode here as well. Fires at the first person to enter their narrow line of sight. So, once again, no windows. What a grim time this is. Well, we can certainly just bounce that guy off a wall. Like, if I have Jen breach here. Static blast this guy. He'll take 2 damage from just being bounced off the wall twice. And then have Zan breach here. Jen is still the closest one. But Jen's going to have to actually step into the room to provoke the charge. I mean, I may as well go all the way for the computer, right? Zan just sets up that predictive bolt. There you go. Easy as lion. And then obviously, bam, problem solved. I am nothing if not efficient. And apparently I am nothing else. We've stopped getting all of the other accolades. Alright, this is it. The way out. Well, it's on the way to the way out. Wait, you haven't been leading us out of here this whole time? You haven't been following me, have you? I don't know where I'm going. I've been leading us to the one little thing I need to do before we can leave. You know we're in a police station where both of us are resisting arrest while it's simultaneously being raided by a team of Black Ops wizards, one of whom can transcend time? Well, sure, but there's no sense rushing. So where are we headed? Well, this office leads to the holding cells. There's someone in there I need to talk to. You're working a case now? Can we just do this? All right, but it's a mess in there. You ready? You know, I wasn't born ready, but in the 35 years since, I have become, amongst other things, ready. Breach? Actually, we should probably think about where to breach. you know, we have some options here. It's worth considering. So we got a lot of enemies, not all of whom are in convenient positions for defenestration. Although I do think having Jen deploy over here makes a little bit more sense, because we might be able to, on this first turn, like, chain bolt deca out the window. And then I don't know what the bounce range on chain bolt is. I guess let's find out. We might be able to bounce him into him and just knock them both out. It does indeed work. Hard to imagine we wouldn't want to do that. And we can redeploy you here. So his attack natively does 1 damage plus 1 knockback. Against an enemy standing against a wall, it's as good as anything else, right? Do you have line of sight to hit this guy from here? You don't, but I can run in, tap one of them, and then just get down. And that's good enough, I think. Okay, we do need to get over there and ward that door. Fortunately, I believe I can seal this up and just take cover. It has no action cost. Let's knock you down and... This guy's gotta understand how grim his situation is, right? How does he not, like, move away from the window at least? Bye-bye. Okay. My guess is there was a cleaner way to do that. But I was trying to do it quickly at least, and apparently I didn't manage that either. Alright, to the holding cells. Hi, me again. I don't know if you heard, the station is currently being raided by a spec ops team, one of whom can transcend time. Right, and much of it is on fire. If you tell me why you shot Wexler, I can get you out of here before even more of it is on fire. How? A breach cliff ought to do it. If not, you know, 2. And if I don't satisfy your curiosity, you'll leave me here to die? Classy. Oh, don't be so dramatic. You'll probably be fine. That's not a great place to be standing when that happens. What the hell just happened? Oof, I think you just met Liv Kennedy. I didn't love it. Listen, we survived to... Okay, you know what? Not my problem. Extremely not my problem. We survived to run away, calling it a success. Maybe. Probably not. Okay, well, I'm a lot more interested in your case now. Who's Banks, and why did the best spec ops team on the planet just assault a police station to abduct her? Dessa Banks. I caught a glimpse at her police file. They have her pegged as a mob doc for the Druid Mafia. When I found her, she just shot her patient in the head with a .45. If she's not mob, she definitely missed a pivotal day in med school. So why would Liv Kennedy want her? Was she an especially good doctor? Well, I mean, I guess it's possible she's a great doctor, and shooting her patient in the head before surgery was just kind of a power move. Your turn. Who is Liv Kennedy? She was my commander in the Navy Special Forces. She's a chronomancer. She can move on a different time scale to the rest of us. You're dead before you know she's coming for you. Well, that seems overpowered. You know, I served with her for 5 years on some nightmare clusterfucks, and I think Liv may be the most dangerous single combatant on this planet. Everyone who saw her work said it sooner or later. I'm glad she's on our side. Well, now she's not. Now she works for Reactor. And Reactor are private military, right? Who's hiring them this time? Private, but huge. Ninth strongest military in the world, last I heard. If you'd asked me yesterday, I would have said they're the DSR military by another name. But if they're sending Liv Kennedy to kill cops on DSR soil, then something massive has changed, and I have no idea why. If she's gone off book, all we're looking at is a god-tier operative becoming a serial killer with an unknown agenda. And if not? Well, if today was a reactor-authorized op, this could light the fuse for World War V. The whole geopolitical landscape of the Southern Hemisphere is going to lurch in ways even I can't predict. And I'm a seer. Yeah, we remember, thank you. So what's the story with you and Liv? We ran an extraction on a Druid Mafia smuggling ship back in '89. She got snared just as they were about to execute the hostage. I had to choose. I chose the hostage. For years, I thought I'd got her killed. Then, 6 months ago, she resurfaces, pulling brutal heists for a PMC. I don't know what she's trying to achieve, but I know I failed her back in '89. If there's some way I can talk her down from this, I have to try. Okay, we do need to make some files. Well, I have a map. We can work with that. That's good. Be encouraging in a situation like this. Alright, so earned some XP here. Got a perk point for Jen. So we can pick up +2 knockback on static blank if you use it at point blank range. An extra bounce on chain bolt. Or +2 knockback to the final target on chain bolt. I mean, the extra target feels very powerful. And once you've taken this, any other improvements you take are going to be so much better. I think that's got to be the move. The point blank thing here, turning this into a 4-tile knockback, is certainly compelling, though. Alright, I feel pretty good about that. Here you can replay previous levels with your new perks. Okay, we don't need to do that. And here we have access to more outfits, if we should, acquire a greater confidence. It takes some guts to wear this out in public. It takes confidence to pull them off. Okay, I think we're ready to just move on. This is your safe house? It's cute. Well, it's my ma's place. That's adorable that she has his service photograph up. She's at bingo. Alright, well here's what we need. Your map, a printer, some thumbtacks, and like 40 meters of red string. She actually might be the only person I know who has that combination of items lying around. Oh, I like her already. Let's get to it. So you know what this is going to look like. Alright, so how does this work? You drag string between us to prove we're friends. Exactly. Now we know Zan Vesker served under Liv Kennedy. Liv Kennedy led this strike on Rushwater PD in order to abduct Dessa Banks. Reactor employs Liv Kennedy for reasons that we are not clear what the whole deal is yet. Hey, that all makes sense to me. No rush if you want to rearrange or go over the details, though. No, listen, I got it. I mean, obviously there are details to be read. For example, Jen, we know, likes complicated cases, good filing systems, skulls of every kind, a woman of unimpeachable taste, really. My cat, Daryl, but it's not mutual. Dislikes Steve Clark Traffic Warlock, which is an excellent name for a person. Okay. I'm a storm witch, a private investigator, and legal guardian to one emotionally distant cat. For the last 3 years, I've been finding missing people the cops couldn't or wouldn't. But it doesn't pay well, and work is drying up in... Oh shit, these notes are smaller than I realized. Zan's thing sounds serious, and I think I can help, so off I go. She does, if these are supposed to be like post-it notes, she does write very small. Zan Vesker likes naval history, Ma's spiced apricots, friends succeeding, and assault staves, of course. Hobbies, providing emotional support, providing fire support, and backgammon. Zan is an extremely old retired Special Forces operative who can see the future. Actually, he can only see 1 second into the future, but in a breach and clear operation, that's a big deal. Yeah, like, the only here is doing a lot of lifting. That is a pretty phenomenal power still. Zan used to serve under Liv Kennedy in the DSR Navy until she was lost in action. Now that she's back with a violent unknown agenda, Zan worries he might be the only one who knows how dangerous she is, or how to counteract her power. He's probably overblowing it, though. Well, I guess we better hope so. Liv Kennedy likes acting quickly, acting decisively, and acting like a prick. That feels a little strong, but I guess our one interaction with her was not very pleasant. Dislikes weakness, slowness, and stowerness. You know, like there's a... hobbies, dodgeball, don't play her at this. Bloody knuckles, do not play her at this. And the 100-meter sprint. Doesn't feel like it's a useful thing to do to race her at this. Liv was the DSR Navy's star covert operative. She's able to move on a different time scale to the rest of us, rendering her actions effectively instantaneous. It's absolute bullshit. She vanished on her last official op with Zan and disappeared for 2 years. Now she's back with a team of Special Forces wizards, cutting a bloody path through the powder keg of southeastern geopolitics, like a bull in a house of cards. Checkmate. What do we know about Reactor? One of the biggest and by far the most effective private military outfits in the world. For years, Reactor have done the DSR's dirty work, but now that they've hit a police station on Rushwater soil, they've bitten the hand that feeds them and swallowed it whole. All bets are off. Yeah, but I mean, like, it is just a police station, right? I get that this is a bad thing, but you got to think, like, the government's going to be weighing its options if this PMC is effectively the military of the country. I walked in on Banks right after she shot the mobster I was tracking, Jiren Wexler. According to her file, she used to be a surgeon at Rushwater General, but dropped off the grid a year ago and is now a mob doc for the Druid Mafia. Now Liv Kennedy has abducted her at massive risk, and we're all left panicking about what she knows about Banks that we don't. Also, rad tattoos. Very strong ink. Okay, so at Rushwater PD, a team of Special Forces wizards led by Liv Kennedy breached the Rushwater Police Department, killing 14 and busting out a prisoner. Zan arrived hot on their trail, arguably too hot. The cops assumed he was part of it. I heroically rescued him, and we got out alive, but we are not popular in the DSR now, which is a shame because that's where we live. Things could be worse. Okay, so we have no idea why Liv took Banks. At this point, I'd settle for where she took Banks. Oh, I can answer that. Wait, seriously? You give me 6 newt bones on a vial of her blood, and I can scry her location to within 3 meters. Okay, well, newt bones sound doable. Yeah, I've got an arrangement with the pet shop downtown. But how would we get a hold of her blood? Well, the cops would have taken it when they booked her, part of a standard DNA log. It'll be at the evidence lockup in Stonecliff. And is that guarded? Oh, heavily. But I know a guy there who owes me. I helped him find his skink last June. And as long as they haven't heard about the clusterfuck at Rushwater yet, I bet I could just ask. Which means we need to do it right now. That's fine. We're good. We're good. Jen knows a guy. It's going to be fine. This is the same thing as a plan. Jen, I think they might have heard about the Rushwater thing. Now they get efficient. Okay, well, this is not ideal. Okay, so we have some extra confidence goals here. As in life, confidence is only needed to wear more daring outfits. Try for these, but don't stress it. You can always come back and get them later with more perks and stuff. Alright, so for Zan to gain confidence, we need to finish with all team members at full health, which we usually are able to do. Jen needs to defenestrate 2 hostiles with 1 gale grenade, and it just so turns out we have one of those on hand. So 1 use per encounter, knocks back all adjacent targets, 1 use per battle. So, I mean, like, it feels to me... Oops, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, Jen. If we move Jen, like, up to here and throw the gale grenade right there, it's going to knock both those guys out the window, right? However... it is difficult to imagine getting away with such a thing. We could just take up positions like... I wonder what happens if I put Zan here and then I use Jen's Static Blast. Will it knock him, like... Can I knock people into my own teammates for bonus damage? I wouldn't want to do it right now because we do want the... obviously, we do want the words, confidence, but it's an interesting question for later, maybe. All right, for right now, let's just put you against the wall. Do the same thing with this guy. And then I think the two of us are going to run to cover positions. If anybody wants to come over here, they can put themselves in some grave danger. All right, can the gale grenade reach those guys? It sure can. All right, let's see if this guy wants to approach. Nope. It's just a tiny bit too smart for that. That's a shame. And we do need to seal that reinforcement door or something. Well, this is a shame. We do not really have a good way of dealing with either of these. Oh, hey, there's a piece of intel there next to him. Glowing blue thing means mana. It's not super valuable, obviously. So it's not too hard for us to put one of the two of them down. I think that's going to be exactly the move here. We're just going to knock you back a space, put you behind cover, and then do the same thing here. Just get up closer to where we can do some decent work. All right. This is actually kind of a good opportunity to test that thing I was curious about before. If I put these two guys next to each other, well, I guess it won't quite work, will it? Because when I move one of them over with Zan, it's going to do 1 damage. So I won't be able to bounce them off of each other twice, because the one officer will collapse after the first collision, and then Jen's Static Blast will just move him another space. If I do this, we can put you adjacent to the wall. Just cast now with 2 targets. Or push you adjacent to the window, rather. Take cover here, and then... obviously, we can just put you outside. Okay, this is a slightly better position because this time we have a guy who only has 1 HP. Alright, the reinforcement doors, they're out. Not a big deal. So we're going to put that guy there and then have Jen run over and... there we go. Not perhaps the smoothest win, but we did do it with confidence. That's worth something. Alright, what are we looking for? A blue folder. Her blood is in a blue folder? No, but her file will tell us where they're storing it. Okay, so just grab every blue file I see. Yep, unless your time brain lets you read them instantly or something. Well, I could do 1 second of reading 1 second sooner than I otherwise would. Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's going to do it. No. Breach? Breach. Okay, a real dearth of windows to work with here. Let a single teammate perform 2 actions in 1 turn. Zan has earned his time boost ability. Throw at an ally to give them an extra action. Okay, no new abilities for Jen. Just deal with all enemies by the end of turn 1. It's turn 1. That... Ooh, okay. So there's 5 of them, which I don't love. I am remembering this a little bit from when we played the demo. So... it does seem like... okay, if we have them both over here, I think this makes sense. We have Zan open up the breach. What I'm thinking here is if Jen runs to here, these guys are the only ones who have vision on her, but can she... no, she can't hit that guy way over in the corner. Okay. What I'm thinking is that I want her to be able to chain lightning this guy to bounce it onto that guy, to bounce it onto that guy. That picks up 3 of them, right? We may as well grab the intel. And then, actually, hold on, rewind. I'm a fool. Zan, be over here. Yeah, here. Because we're gonna want Zan in a position where he can shoot that guy. So how does this work? Okay, it directly targets an ally. Alright, so we're gonna recreate her play here. Grab the intel. Chain bolt. I think I remember this being what she did last time. Now, Zan can time boost her, allowing her to also just paste this dude to the wall. There we go. And then Zan himself can just run up here. I don't even really need this intel. And 1 damage plus a push there gets the whole thing done. What it does not do is let us seal the reinforcement doors. But I got another mana, so we can time boost her again. Ooh, I can't actually. Never mind. Well, I guess let's just predictive bolt and hope that somebody who comes through this door tries to run out that far. No such luck. Okay. That's fine. I mean, obviously, these two chose to stop right next to the walls, so don't think we're going to have a lot of problems on this turn. Ah, except Jen can't actually reach the thing over here because her movement is too slow. Well, let's... I guess grab this intel, even though it doesn't really do anything. Yep, and we'll just have to let 1 more enemy through. Okay, probably not the most efficient way to get that done, but again, we did get both of the goals. And that's something. I get no reinforcement at all. Very sad. Hey, where are you going? Both these overpasses lead to the next building. We can do it in tandem. Okay, but you get shot the moment you walk through that door. Oh, good note. Look, let me breach first. I can take care of it from my side. Does she? Oh, she does. Yes, there is an Overwatch right there. Okay, well, yeah, that seems very fixable. So Zan caused Predictive Bolt to fire before the Foresee phase, which means we would have to set up the Predictive Bolt and then use Jen to move somebody into the area, which is the thing I am sure we will be able to do. Okay, easy enough. I'm not going to move Zan anymore until we're a little more advanced here. So if I breach this now... Actually, if I set up Zan's predictive bolt here and then open the security door... Will this work? He only blocks 1 damage. This might actually be exactly the situation for that. Yeah. Good stuff. Alright, and then Zan still hasn't moved, and I guess we'll just move all the way in. There's not really any reason to do anything else. Would I be able to time boost all the way over to her here? It looks like I would be able to, but I think I want to hold it. Alright, if I do a predictive bolt, yeah, I could just lay a predictive bolt down all the way over here. Jen's action is going to require knocking 3 people out a window in 1 turn. I mean, this is the setup for it, right? So I guess we want to just, like, roll real slow for a second here. Oh, hold on, I don't need to be figuring this out with him just yet. Let's breach here. Okay, that is in fact close enough to draw some attention. And I kind of think I just don't do anything else. Because we do want that to come true, right? It's pretty important. Okay, so we've got ourselves an awful lot of mana here. Alright, can I... So, like, what we want to do is hit somebody with the chain bolt and then move it across the map here, right? But it can't be this guy because he'll go into the wall instead. So if I Gale Grenade here, it doesn't cost us an action. And then Chain Bolt on either one of them should be sufficient, really. Oh, that didn't quite work the way I thought it was going to. Shoot. I thought because they were both being moved, it would, you know, move them both. Well... Can I time boost her from here? I can. And then that'll let her Chain Bolt again, which solves, actually, all of our remaining problems very nicely. Yeah, it turns out time boost is fantastic. Alright, neither one of you have any juice left. Let's just take a second. Recover. Is it worth stopping there to grab the stuff? I think probably. We'll just put that guy on the ground and then, yeah, pass here. I guess I'll predictive bolt in case somebody tries to run through the door, but that's not gonna happen. Okay, Sam gets to breach here, which I think should... No, he actually can't see her. Well, I held off on using our other mana for Chain Bolt for the just in case, and I think this is that just in case situation. Oh no, she makes it one tile too little to actually seal the door. I mean, that's a big shame, but also... enemies that come out of the door are not immediately dangerous. Oh, hey, Zan, I just realized Zan is looking right at somebody who needs to get pasted. And I think I am going to run Jen just like all the way over here. I guess the thing to consider is where enemies might stop. Like, I don't want her to be in a place where she's only able to push people into the middle of the room. So let's do this to try to maintain a better angle. Like, if an enemy comes out 2 spaces, we can at least bounce them off the desk or something. Yeah, I believe that will approximately do the job, because we can static blast for 1 damage and then use Zan's burst for the other damage. And then Jen gets to keep at least 1 enemy outside. I'm kind of sort of getting better at it, a little bit. "13 knockouts, perhaps not the cleanest thing we've ever done. Oh, hey, I found Banks. She was between Jubba and Hiddlesbottom, logically. Well, we've all found ourselves there. This says her blood sample's in Fridge 5, room 304. So 1 floor up. Great, let's go." You brought the newt bones. I don't leave the house without 6 to 20 newt bones. Okay, so where is she? She is about 100 meters east. Did you perform the spell 100 times too small? No, she's in the next building. And what's that? Controlled substances, I think? Why would they break her out of one police station just to take her to another? Well, I don't know. You want to go find out? After I realign some time crystals, yeah. Does seem like it could be a very dangerous thing, doesn't it? Steve, you're sure this is every gram of blue you have? Yep. Every seizure in the DSR ends up here. All right, Bori. Light it up. All will burn. In very mild fire. It is not mild fire. That's a total misnomer. I should not have to take this from a traffic cop. I'm a traffic warlock, and you're a failed arsonist. I'd like to see you untangle the M6 spaghetti junction with some lukewarm flames. Lukewarm? Okay, much as I'd love to hear where this clash of the intellectual titans goes, we have a ride to catch. Steve, stick around and make sure your cop pals don't put this out. Bori, bring Banks. Steve. Somehow I always knew. Probably because this is also in the demo and I have done it before. Well, that exchange raised a lot more questions than it answered. Is Liv's team burning mana? Why? He sniffs. Oh, not for the smell, I'm guessing. I mean, why do the Rushwater PD even have this much mana? The street value of this must be billions. They're supposed to destroy it all at the end of every month. Well, maybe Defense told them to. I've heard of states stockpiling it on the QT. No one has a military use for it yet, but they're all scared someone's gonna find one. Hey, that's the fire guy I was telling you about. Oh, right. You know, I do remember him now. So, okay, when I said fire guy earlier, you didn't think of the guy that you know who is permanently on fire. Well, look, you meet a lot of colorful characters in this line of work. Aren't you unemployed? Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Okay, so who is he? Bori Kesh, the less lethal pyromancer. How does that work? Well, I think his flames are like quite hot, but not fire hot, you know? Like, you can't go on about your day, but it's more of an aloe vera situation than an impromptu cremation. Okay, you look like you want to ask something. Who's the guy in the Dayglow robe? That's Steve. Steve Clark, Traffic Warlock. And I keep running into him on my cases, and I always forget what a slimy prick he truly is. Wow, Jen. Oh, shit. Get fucked, Steve! Can we take him? Well, how good are you at dodging spectral cars filled with skeleton ghosts? Never made it past regionals. Well, let's see if that cuts it. Okay, listen, as much as I am eager to make fun of Steve Clark, Traffic Warlock, he is legitimately dangerous. Zan would love to finish with everybody at full health, nobody having been hit by a bus. And Jen, of course, would love to throw this dude out a window. That makes sense to me. So, I guess let's get in here and kind of like split up, right? I don't know that it makes much sense to do anything else. I think we're going to just abandon this this bit of mana here. If I start with Jen, we move him over there. He gets stuck on the pyre. Okay, that does move the area of the attack over. That was what I didn't remember. But yeah, I can do this. We can just like paste him back against the wall for our first turn. I don't think we need to do anything fancier than that. Yep, he sure is going to launch some traffic through, and we're fine. Oh, cool, friends. Okay, so... I wonder if we could get rid of Steve this turn. Because, like, if I throw a Gale Grenade up here... Or if I Chain Bolt. You know what? Let me, like, move over to here. If I Chain Bolt... Ah, darn. I'm trying to put myself in a position relative to this guy where the Chain Bolt hits him against the wall instead of just pushing him backwards. There we go. Ah, sadly, it's also just going to push Steve. Or it's just going to knock Steve against the wall. It's not going to push him over. He's not... We don't quite have the angle I need for that. So I think it does make sense for it to be a Gale Grenade. If I throw a Gale Grenade, and then I get time advanced... It doesn't say Jen has to do it. I guess I could just have him... Instead of time boosting Jen, I could just burst him out the window. Right? It's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough if somebody else does it. And then we can just kind of take it easy here. You know what? Let me do it from this square. Because that way the predictive bolt that I follow it up with is a little bit more... Well, no, I got to take cover. It doesn't really matter where I do it. But I don't want to do the predictive bolt. And then Jen may as well knock this dude out. That's free enough. And then we'll just take cover here. And, you know, without Steve around, you know what? Let me move just barely far enough to take cover. Yeah, without Steve around, this battle gets a lot easier. And actually, this feels like a great situation for a Chain Bolt, right? Because if we bounce it over to here first, it's going to come at this guy at an angle that is definitely going to smash him into the wall. Chain Bolt's so good. And indeed, one tile further away would have meant that we couldn't close the door. Zan can't quite get to where he needs to be, but he can set up a pretty solid predictive bolt. I have to admit, I didn't see that coming. Okay, so we'll grab some intel as well, but like... this is going to work, right? I don't have to do anything else. Yeah, that guy's just going to charge right into it. Okay, I should have moved Jen up. I was like totally. I was thinking the fight would just end, but yeah, of course we do have to close this as well. Okay, there we go. Easy. Maybe a little tiny bit inefficient, perhaps. But you can't say we didn't throw a Traffic Warlock out a window, and I think that's worth a lot. Steal a murderer's blood, complete. Use it to track them down, complete. Look at this, we're crushing it. Defeat Steve Clark, Traffic Warlock in conversation. Well, he certainly has some difficult self-examination to do in the days and weeks to come. That'll show him. I'll paint his little red wagon. Red, I assume. Okay, Zan has a perk point to spend. So, making 3-bolt bursts do 2 damage means that Zan is now capable of knocking out most basic enemies, even if they're just in the middle of the room. That feels pretty significant. Once per turn, when a teammate uses their standard attack, take a free shot at that target. I mean, that also feels very significant. Okay, multiple predictive bolts is kind of interesting. I feel like supportive fire is more fun. +1 damage has gotta be. Well, I mean, this just adds an extra point of knockback, although potentially like sort of around the corner knockback. It's not going to come necessarily from the same angle, which at least some of the time is going to be a good thing. You know what? I gotta take supportive fire because it's just too much. It's too much fun, I think. And maybe I will regret not having the +1 damage, but I think there's a lot to be said for this. Anything new on our map? No, not exactly. I think having completed Act 1 here, that's where we're going to call it for today. As you can see, the game's not super long, but first of all, I dig the mechanics. Secondly, I very much dig the writing. Yeah, like I said before, I'm just very excited to finally have the whole version of this thing in our hands. So that's going to be it for us for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're headed into Act 2, Extraction, and we'll see you then.